In today's video, I'm excited to provide an update on Upexi Inc., which we can find on the NASDAQ under UPXI. And in today's update video, we're going to remind you of where we started. Not that long ago, we were talking about a cup and handle pattern that was forming on Bitcoin, on Solana, and now in this update video, I want to show you that as we're crash landing on support, the ironic part is that it often does not feel like support. On Bitcoin here, we've now slammed down to roughly $100,000. We pierced through roughly 99, but we came down to a really important area here. It's a Fibonacci extension, which means that we're trying to decide if we're going to hold this area or if we're going to decline. Hindsight's always 20/20. But as I look here to Bitcoin and specifically crypto, these failed breakdown patterns are very closely related to the cup and handle pattern, because inside of here, if you notice, there's that's an inside bar. There's a failed breakdown right there. There's a failed breakdown right there. There's a failed breakout. A failed breakout and breakdown just means that we go to a lower area, rally back above, or we go too high and we come back below. They're really strong signals. So if we look here to the last times that we crashed onto support, we have 1, 2 failed breakdowns in a row. Then we rally back up. Right here we have 1, 2. Actually, we got one up here too. We got 1, we got 2 in a row, rally back up. Well, that's a failed breakdown. That's number 1. And we can only do a failed breakdown if, ironically, we break down first and then rally back above. It's only November 4th. The crypto market did not waste any time to get the sells in. So right now, 1 with the potential for 2. And here we have 1, 2, rally on. 1, 1, 2, rally on. Is this time different? Or is it going to do the same thing? Roughly $100,000 right on support. And this cup and handle pattern we're talking about so much, it's right here. Hindsight is always 20/20. We can only draw a cup of coffee or a cup and handle pattern if it actually works out. And higher lows are sufficient if the trend is higher and we're in blue skies. Higher highs, higher lows. That's how the chart goes up. It's that simple. So if we extrapolate that to leaders lead and followers follow, what is Solana doing? It's not perfect, but here's our cup, right? There's our cup. There's our handle. And there's a competing pattern inside of here. We currently have a short-term head and shoulders versus a short-term inverse head and shoulders. So there's our shoulder, there's our head, there's our shoulder. So if we inspect a little bit more closely, can we understand if the follower is following? I think we can. So right here is where we had a short-term cup and handle, but it actually ignored that part and went for a bigger one. Then we came back down, and now we're forming a bigger cup and handle. I'll show you what I see. I see this. I see let's go back here to Solana. We can look here to our weekly chart. Low, higher, low, higher, low. It was bouncing on the 50 MA until it wasn't. And it's a pretty big decline right now. The really important part is, where is really support? I would argue it's right here at roughly 125 on Solana. So if we're going to go any lower, like the Bitcoin chart suggested, but we rally back up, inside this area is exactly where you want to buy. The reason why is because support is only known in hindsight. If you already like Solana and Bitcoin is on support and you believe this pattern is real, you need to understand how to master the cup and handle, because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. This pattern is not new. It's been known for a very long time. But the important part is the handle to me. The cup and handle pattern is a bullish technical price pattern that appears on a price chart as a cup and a handle, signifying a potential buying opportunity. Keyword being potential buying opportunity. This pattern typically forms over a period of 7 to 65 weeks, or number of candles, characterized by the U, followed by a downward sloping handle. That's the part that's really tricky, because if you're looking at a weekly chart or a monthly chart, it takes weeks or months, which means candles or lines, to form that pattern. Limitations include the time it takes for the pattern and the variable of the cup's depth, requiring it to be used alongside other signals and indicators, like we talked about. So if we're forming those higher lows and we look at the higher time frame and we note that we're still above the short-term price, those are the other signals we're looking for. We need to know where we expect to find buyers and what's really driving the charge here. We're not really declining on heavy volume, so there might be a big price decline, but there's not really a stampede out of here. That's not how I see it. And then if we go back here to Upexi again, UPXI on the NASDAQ, this is a way for us to get exposure to Solana. It is a public company, like you're familiar with buying. It's a ticker, UPXI. If you can buy in your broker account, you don't have to pay fees if you're with Robinhood or other ones. If you were trying to buy Solana or crypto, sometimes there's commissions on those. So the important part is that this is basically a managed fund or a company that is now giving us exposure to Solana. It's really important for us to understand what we own. Secondly, is the company generating shareholder value? Well, let's read the update. This is from today on November 4th. So key metrics demonstrate Upexi's proven shareholder value creation. I'll leave a link for you in the description if you want to go read it after. And in Tampa Bay, Florida, metrics include 72 million of unrealized gains, an 82% increase in adjusted sold per share, and 96% return on April equity private placement. That seems pretty good. So Upexi remains positioned to grow despite reduced Treasury company sentiment. That's literally what happens during a downturn, which is the part that forms the handle. Stated Upexi CEO Alan Marshall, whether via a large unrealized gain, a substantial increase in adjusted sold per share, or the strong performance of our stock since embarking on our Solana Treasury strategy, we remain committed to creating long-term incremental value for shareholders. Brian Rudick, who is the Chief Strategy Officer, added, Upexi remains well-positioned within the Treasury space, due both to its underpinned buy and endgame winning asset in Solana and to other innovation focus, capital markets expertise, risk-prudent strategy, and proven track record. We continue to hold a peer lending multiple with solid trading volumes and intend to monetize this for our shareholders. Below are the key highlights in the last several weeks. So they now hold 2.1 million SOL, up 4.4% from the previous number on September 10th. Net asset value of Solana is now priced at 188 per SOL, and that is for 2.1 million SOL, valued at $397 million. Unrealized gain. The total cost of Upexi SOL totals 325 million or 157 per SOL. The unrealized gain, which includes price appreciation, staking rewards, and a discount of locked-in SOL, stands at $72 million. SOL per share. Right now, you're going to be getting 0.01 or $3.52, up 47% versus the previous number. So if you have a look right here, what's the stock trading at? 350. So what does that infer for you? Well, it means that you're basically getting the company for free. You're getting the Solana exposure. That's the way that I read it. Staking. Substantially, all the company's SOL are being staked, earning a roughly 7-8% yield. The current daily yield is about $75,000 per day in revenue. Locked SOL. Approximately 42% of the portfolio is locked SOL purchase at a mid-teen discount to the spot price and providing for built-in gains for shareholders. Valuation on October 31st of 2025, Upexi traded at a basic market NAV or MNAV of 0.7x and a fully loaded MNAV of 1.3. They have some business initiatives as well, including an advisory committee, which is now going to be adding the SOL Big Brain, he's a thought leader, he's a SOL enthusiast, and John Najarian, sorry for mispronouncing that, to their advisory committee. Investor conferences they're going to participate at include 2025 AGP Digital Asset Treasury Showcase and the Maximum Growth Summit. 2 times Upexi ETF. Oh, I didn't know that. So now Tuttle REX shares and Tuttle Capital. The Tuttle actually manages a lot of the leveraged ETFs and inverse ETFs. They've launched 2RX times long and Upexi long. Daily target of ETF, PXIU. Upexi also has some events coming up with multimedia, including FT Partners, like we talked about. They got the AGP Digital Asset Showcase. They got Maximum Growth, Crypto Town Hall, and the Wolf of All Streets podcast on September 24th and October 12th. All right. Track record of shareholder value creation. Upexi has a proven ability to create value for shareholders. Management believes the below 3 metrics demonstrate this, including the efficacy of our treasury management operations and ability to execute on our multiple value accrual mechanism. Large unrealized gain, as we talked about before. Large increase in adjusted sold per share. We talked about that. Strong issuance track record. We also talked about that. So unrealized gains, adjusted sold per share, an exceptional track record are the reasons why you should consider Upexi if you already like Solana and you're looking for an investment opportunity. At a very high level, Upexi is the leading Solana treasury company. We've built the next generation crypto treasury model designed to meaningfully improve on today's digital asset strategies. We've talked about their thesis in previous videos. Pause if you need to. Why Solana and the shareholder benefits. We also talked about this. There is a way for you to benefit by basically having this treasury company manage it on your behalf. So if you want to find out more about the company or you're interested in looking at it, it is UPXI on the NASDAQ. And then for the audience, please just make sure to read the description for full disclosure details, including that this is a sponsored video. So with that said, thank you very much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks so much.